Hello, everyone, and welcome back to another episode of the Soup Bowl. I am your host, Renee Murdoch, and I am so happy that you are here today, that you are liking, that you are sharing, that you are watching. I am super excited about doing life with you, and hopefully, you are super excited about doing life with me. Why? Because we were never meant to do life alone. And so I'm just glad about it. I'm glad to be in the number. I'm glad to be in line. I'm glad to be sitting on your couch. I am glad just to be, here in the land of the living and being a part of history. And so hopefully you are too. We're at it again another week. It's been rough. It's been challenging. But guess what? Guess what? You made it through. You made it through. And so come on, bravo, bravo, bravo. I know you wanted to kill somebody. I know you wanted to slice off some heads. I know you wanted to just, cut all that good stuff. Use strong language, right? But you didn't do it. You still here. You not, they didn't, they didn't tie you up. They didn't lock you up. And so you're still here. And we're just glad about that, right? Because you maintain some self-control out there in them streets, because it's challenging. I'm with you, okay? So what are we going to get into today? Hey, we're going to continue on talking about, right, what we were talking about last week, and it was like, if I give you all of me, then what do I have left? What do I have left, right? And so that first segment we were talking about, right, what does it look like running on empty? Right? Like, we should not be running on empty, right? And so we need to just be okay with not giving all of ourselves to other people. If we're always giving ourselves all the time over to other people, then guess what? You're going to be on empty. And if you're on empty, you're not good for anyone. You're not good for yourself. You're not good for the organization that you're working for. You're not good for your children. You're not good for your spouse. Who are you good for? Right? You're not good. And then you just become, snappy. That self-control that I was talking about earlier, it's gone. You don't have it anymore. It's not even there. Like, it could be something simple, right? Like, you went to go get an ice cream cone, and then like the ice cream cone is like leaning on the side because it's the second day of the person working there, and they really don't know how to be doing ice cream cones, and they really should not be doing ice cream cones, but somebody put them on an ice cream cone machine anyway, and now they're making these life-size ice cream cones, and you like, what? No, I'm gonna need you to go back and make that. Well, man, we can't make that. We can't make it again. And you're like, no, you're going to go back and you're going to make my ice cream cone. Yes, you are. I don't want this. Go get your manager. So it's like it's this whole ordeal, right, that happens just because, right, you're running on empty and the ice cream cone was lopsided. Now, if you weren't running on empty, you'd be like, now, sweetie, come on now. Come on now, you know you can make that ice cream cone better than that. If I go, if I second, oh, well, good luck. Well, keep making them, keep practicing, right? When you use it, start off pulling that handle down slowly. Make sure that the first couple of drips goes all the way down to the bottom, right? And then like let it circle up. Don't go too fast. So you're going too fast. So you would be giving them a mini class, right? Other than go get your manager because you're going to make that ice cream cone again, right? So what we out here doing, right? So you can't be out here running on empty. And so hopefully you've taken note, you've taken some constructive steps forward so that you do not have to deal with running on empty, right? And thinking about, why am I out here giving all of myself, right? And there's nothing left for me. Why am I doing that, right? Let's stop the shenanigans, okay? And let's stop the shenanigans and think about these myths that people have made up, society have made up, but you have to determine for your own life what you're going to do, right, going forward, and cut society off by the legs. I don't have to follow your rules when it comes to that. No, I need to be healthy inside and outside, right? So just keep that in mind, right? So we talked about reclaiming ourselves. We talked about setting some boundaries. And we talked about living from the overflow. And so hopefully you've taken some steps towards that, right? Reclaiming yourself, right? What is the things that you need to reclaim about yourself? What are those things that you need to do to set those boundaries, right? And then what are the things that you need to do from living from the overflow? That's more or less of what we're going to get into today, as I just gave you like a real top overview of that. But right, so we're going to talk about today about restoring yourself from the guilt. There's no reason to be out here being guilty about how you're moving, what you've done, right? There's no need to take on that guilt. And don't allow other people to put you into guilt, to put you into shame. You have to discover these things for yourself, right? You have to, you have to do it for yourself. You really can't do it for anyone else. And I was gonna say you should be doing it for like your children because like they're, you know, whatever, like if they're still minors, whatever. But no, you really do need to do this for yourself within, okay, results to being healthy for your children, right? So we're going to be talking about rebuilding, right? And how do we begin to replenish ourselves, establish, right, those boundaries, and giving from the abundance and not from depletion. See, we can give from some abundance, okay, and not depletion. The problem is that we're normally giving from depletion and not abundance. And why is that? Because we don't replenish ourselves and we don't set boundaries. Every time somebody calls, you saying yes, you're going, oh, they need, they ask, they did, and they're going to keep it. They're going to keep coming. They're not going to stop coming because they know that you're going to say yes. And so they're not going to stop coming. And then the problem with that is that you said yes to this person, you said yes to that person, you said yes to this, you said yes to that. And before you know it, you're like, man, I didn't get to go get my feet done. I didn't get to go get my nails done. Like, I'm not about to take some time off to go do this, but I really can't take time off because I don't want them thinking, like, so it's just this, it's just a spiral thing happening here. Oh my gosh, I forgot to get milk. Man, I gotta run back out and get milk. Oh, I can't make that now, although I said to the peoples that I was gonna make it, but I can't make it now because I ran out. What are we doing? What are we doing out here? Okay, so look, you can't keep giving from a place of lack and then you are thinking that you're going to thrive. Let me say that again. You can't keep giving from a place of lack and expect to thrive. You're not going to thrive. You are actually going to dry out, is what you're going to do. Because you have nothing. You've depleted. You depleted your barns. There's nothing there. And so how are you going to thrive if you don't have anything? You can't even go in and make a deal because you don't have nothing. You don't have anything. And so a foolish man would think that they can continue to keep going in the direction in which they're going and continue the same actions without changing anything. I don't think that's possible. It's not. It's just not. And I think that there's plenty of examples around you or even in your life that actually speaks to that. Okay. So you're asking yourself, well, how do I do this? How do I replenish myself? Well, number one is say no. There is power in the word no. I think we can learn a lot from little people, little babies, little toddlers, when they run around and you say anything, it's like, no. Well, would you, no. Like, it's not that they're being disrespectful, but it's just like, it just became their favorite word, right? So they say no to everything. You want to go take tap? No. Come on, eat your peaches. No. Get over here. No. Take note. Take note, people. Learn the power of no. Let it be your favorite word. Like, if you have issues of not saying no and saying yes to everything, then you need to be like those toddlers and make no your favorite word for the next month. Yes, it's a no. It's a no for me. That's what needs to be said. It's a no for me. You don't have to explain it. It's just a no. And guess what? They might, more than likely, gonna be feeling some type of way because they're used to you saying yes. Don't take offense, because they're gonna be feeling some type of way because they're not used to you saying no. And so they're going to be shocked. They're going to be appalled. They're going to be turned off. But guess what? They'll get over it. And if they don't, who cares? Because they're going to be who they're going to be. And you're going to have to learn that you need to be able to give from a place of fullness and not a place that has been dried out. We are people that are walking around in society that are dried up. We're so dried up, we're not even relevant. We are not relevant. Nobody wants to hear that, but we are not relevant. We're out here and we think that we're doing something and we're not even relevant in the times, in the future of our country, in the future of our lives, in the future of our legacy. We just out here. We're like back in old times. I don't even know the word. Like, we're living in the past. We can't even come up with great and creative and innovative things because we're dried up. You know, I was telling someone at work that you should go on a walk. Like, you know, they were talking about, oh, I'm just stressed out. And I was like, do you go out the building? And they were like, no. And I'm like, so you don't leave the building once you get into the building, and from the time that you step foot in and then you leave, you have not been outside. And they're like, yeah, no. I'm like, oh my gosh, you need to go outside. Like, you need to replenish yourself. Like, you can't do this back to back all day, every day, Monday through Friday. No, sir, ma'am, push back, shut the computer off, and go outside, get some fresh air, get some vitamin D, get that blood circulating again. Why? So your brain can process. It needs to process what has been happening, what has been said, and most importantly, what has not been said. Why do you think that one of the major activities of wealthy people, right, they're always working out. They're always doing something to get their blood flowing, right, get their heart rate going. Why? So they can think, so they can recharge. Oh, man. Oh, yeah, I didn't think about that. or they take themselves away from a certain atmosphere and go into another atmosphere. And then that's where creativity begins to flow. They begin to see certain things. This is why one of my favorite activities is hiking. See, people are like, I don't want to go hiking. I've done that before. You know, that's what Murdoch was saying. I don't want to go out there. I did that. I've done that. Yes, I understand that. But the earth is speaking. The earth is speaking. And I love it when I'm in that space, right? I love looking at the different ways that the earth is speaking. From the ground of the changes of color, you know, from the segments of how trees are growing and roots are coming out or roots are going deep, and you know how things lean to the left and lean to the right, and how the sky responds, right, to the different element that's going on in the earth. Like, all of these things are speaking, and they're speaking really loud. But because we are depleted, we can't even hear it. We are deaf in hearing because we're on dry. We're empty. And so I encourage you to take that first step. That first step, right? In shifting gears so that you can be full. So you can reclaim yourself. Because we need to do this for the next generation. So I want you to ask yourself, what drains me? What fuels me, right? I don't want you to wait until a crisis happens, right? Until a tsunami comes in, until the volcano erupts. I don't want you to wait until someone passes away. I don't want to wait until you get into a horrific car accident, or you know your lights get cut off, the running water stops, a war breaks out. I don't want you to wait till then. Do this now. Do it now, and ask yourself, what drains me? And be honest about it. And what fuels me? What drains me is me working on a particular project, and I'm there to advise on best solutions and recommendations. And I've done all this work and research, and you take none of them, and you just do whatever you was going to do initially. And guess what happens? The very thing that I saw coming literally ends up happening. And I'm sitting over there like, yeah, that could have been avoided. Could have been avoided. And the other thing that drains me is you making your mishap of not doing the proper planning and trying to make it my emergency. No. It's not my emergency. It's not. It's your emergency now because you didn't do the proper planning. So no. So when you don't get that response that you want, like, oh my God, we got to work it out. We got to do it. We got to. Renee not doing that. I'm not doing that no more. No, we're not doing that. So those are the things that drains me. What fuels me? Oh, that's so good. What fuels me? There's a lot of things that fuels me, right, to get me going throughout my day. What fuels me? Oh, it's just a great conversation with the Lord. My devotion in the morning fuels me. Okay? What fuels me is being able to share some great information that I found out. Like, when I find out something good, I like to share what I found out. Did you know, right? Like, I'm a person, at work that's talking about, hey, in the summer, they got this for free, they got this for free, and they got this going on here, whatever. Like, especially when it comes to like kids and trying to, make sure that you're using the best time and your money well at the same time. Like, I'm letting you know, hey, they got free ice cream this week. They got free tickets for the park over here. They got, like, when I find something out, that fuels me. It fuels me. It fuels me to help someone make a particular process or thing better than what it was before, and for me to see that thing play out. I'm like, yo, yes, yes, yes. Right. So that's just an example of what drains me and what fuels me. So I want you to do the same thing. If you want to pause this right now, just do it. Go ahead and do it. Or you can do it afterwards. But I really want you to think about that, write it down, because it's going to help you, right? It's going to help you shift the gears. It's going to help you recognize, right, when someone's coming at you, what is it that you need to be saying no to? Because remember, it drains you. Remember, it drains you. It does not fuel you. It drains you. So the very things that's draining you, you need to be saying no to, right? So this starts with the awareness process. Because if you don't know what drains you, then you got to go back into like, oh, I'm going to be like, no. When in fact, in some of those things, you should have said yes. So then you're going to feel like you're restricted, right? And like you're on punishment. You're not on punishment. You're not on punishment. It's just a way of just looking at doing things in a new way, right? Doing things in a new way. And that means that you're going to have to know those things that drain you. If it's draining me, then I don't need to be a part of it. I don't want nothing to do with it. If I'm in a relationship with someone and they're draining me, I'm going to have to cut you loose. So, because you're draining me. There's no value here, right? It doesn't fuel me. It's like, oh my gosh, I can't wait to speak to this person because so many great things come out of this conversation, so many great ideals, we're sharpening one another. Like, if that's not happening, if I'm sitting there thinking like, okay, what they going to say today, what they going to ask for today, what they think that, I'm a deliverer, like, if it's, I'm going to have to let you go. All right. So look, you're going to have to start building habits of rest, right? You're going to have to start taking some time for solitude. Again, right? So you can get in a place of creativity and look at those things that fuel you. We have to rest. And it's not about, I earned this nap, right? It's about, no, you need to go to bed. You need to go to sleep. No, you need to go take a nap, right? We just have to honor ourselves as human beings. We are not robots out here. We're human beings. We have a tank system, right? And that's why we eat, right? Every creature is eating something, right? And they're doing right to fuel, to energize themselves. And so, like I said, you don't plug us into the wall and we don't put anything into our bodies, whatever, but we have to learn that we are human beings and we are imperfect all at the same time. We need to fuel ourselves. And that's not only by just consuming food, but it's also getting rest too at the same time, right? And then you have to set up boundaries. Boundaries does not have to be dramatic, right? But they can be simple. No, not right now. Or I need a moment before I respond to that. So you can think about it. Does this drain me or does it fuel me? You don't have to keep explaining the whole ordeal, right? Like it's just a no for me, right? And thus setting a boundary. I gotta think about that. I can't answer you right now. I know you're looking for one, but I'm not going to give it to you. And then when you come back with, because you recognize that it drains you, then you give the response. I'm not going to be able to assist you in that. And if it fuels you, then, hey, what's the plan? this, and that, or whatever. This is what I can do, right? Do not take on more than you can chew. Don't put all that on your plate and you can't eat all of it. No, take some of that off. No, this is what I can do. And this is the time frame in which I can do it for. Right? I have a lot to say about that because people be taking on jobs. People be taking on gigs that they do not have the space nor the bandwidth to do it. But you take it on though. And then you want to rush through something. You want to just give people any type of thing. No. Everything that we do, every product, every service that we put out here on this earth, it needs to be done in excellence. It needs to be done in excellence. If you're not going to do it in excellence, then don't do it at all. Nobody don't want your scraps. Nobody don't want that dog poop. We don't want that. People are coming because they see that you can provide a service and they want the best. And so you should be able to give the best. And if you're not able to give the best, then you need to be saying no. And you need to be setting some boundaries. Or like, hey, they want 3 things and you're like, you know what, I can't do the 3 things, but I can do the 1 thing for you. Be honest when people are coming. Stop taking on things that you cannot fulfill. Wasting the customer's time, wasting your time as well. That's a big peep for me. Like, stop it. Stop it out here in these streets. Like, just stop. Stop it. And we ain't got to go back and forth. We ain't got to do that. Because you out here saying yes when your answer is really no. Okay. Just saying. And then next, because we about to wrap this thing up. We is wrapping it up, right? We must live from the overflow. Why do we have to live within a certain means? When we can be living from the overflow. But it's all a choice. It's a choice whether you want to live within a certain mean or whether you want to live in overflow. And we're all able to get to the overflow, but the fact is, do you want to be in the overflow? See, when you're full, right, then you can present your best. And you don't become a burden. Because see, when you can't fulfill something, it becomes a burden to the person that came to you. And then, people be feeling some type of way, and then you got to go through all these roundabout things. And that could be prevented if you would have just presented your best. Giving your best product. Like, your product, your service should be speaking for you all the time. Even when you finished it. You don't want, for example, this custom buffet that I got made back here, right? It's like when people come into my home, they ask about it, right? They ask about the buffet, and I'm able to give them the individual, right, that did it, and then I'm able to say, hey, I designed that myself. And we talk to the person, and this is not whatever, how it slides back and forth, what my vision was, or whatever the case may be. And so the person said, okay, I can do it for you, and this is how much it's going to be, and this is, going to be how long it's going to take me to do it, right? And then I told them, I said, hey, I want this type of finish on it. It's like, well, he was honest. He's like, hey, I can't do that type of finish. Don't worry about it. I can't. So when you bring it in here, you just do a plain base primer. And I'm going to finish this bad boy up because the vision is in my head. Now, if he would have said he could do it and then he didn't do it, I would have been hot. And then we would have had a problem because I would have been like, I'm not paying you what we agreed to because I ended up having to paint this. See? And that's where it becomes the burden. But it wasn't a burden for me. It wasn't a burden. It was a gift. It was a gift because he had said, oh, I can't do that. I can do everything else that you need, Miss Murdoch, but I can't do that. See? So, if it's not giving, right, and being honest, then you need not do it. Okay? Don't do things in desperation. Don't do things in guilt. Right? I didn't guilt the person to say, you should be able to do this. You build, you can't paint, you don't know how to distress, you don't know how to do this. Like, that's guilting somebody into doing something. And then again, you guilt them into doing it, and then it becomes a burden. Do not let people guilt you into doing something that drains you. No, I don't like doing that, right? I don't like doing it. So like when I used to do like cakes and things of that nature, and people want, like, I don't do that. Go over there to them people, because I don't do that. I don't do the Southern, red velvet cake with the cream cheese in it. No, I do red velvet truffle. That's what my little dang self do. I do truffle, right? I layer it, right? Yes, I use red velvet cake, but then I got a little, little whipped cream, right? Little strawberries and things, like a little layer to it. It's like strawberry shortcake, but it's red velvet, right? I don't do the cake thing. I don't do the pound cake, right? I just learned how to make that pound cake not too long ago. So you're not getting that over here. I'm not making it. I'm not. Okay. So anyway, going back to this so we can wrap this thing up over here. So when you're not desperate, right? When you don't do things out of desperation, right? Don't allow people to guilt you into doing things, right? And knowing that when you become anchored in knowing what drains you and actually what fuels you, then you're clear, you have clarity, you come alive, right? And you're putting your best foot forward. And the people that's around you, they're actually benefiting from that the more than when you were dry. Your family is benefiting from it because you are more grounded and you are not overextended. I remember when I became more grounded and I wasn't overextended, I was trying to figure out like what? Like, I feel like I have so much time left in my day. What am I supposed to be doing? It was so hard for me to grasp that. What am I supposed to be doing right now? Resting. Sit down somewhere, Renee. Go sit on your couch. Go sit on your couch. Go sit outside on a chair. And really? Like, it was so uncomfortable and so weird that I was looking at my calendar. I was like, I think I'm supposed to be doing something. No, you're not. No, you're not. You are not overextended anymore. You are grounded. So just know that that's what it's going to take. And last but not least, take a moment, breathe, okay, and ask yourself again, what drains me and what fuels me, right? So until next time, do know that leading is teachable. I love you, and there's nothing that you can do about it.